This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Hey there, it's Ryan Seacrest for Safeway. It's cough, cold, and flu season. Do not get caught feeling under the weather. Get back to feeling good with savings on all your cold and flu essentials. Now through February 24th, shop in-store or online to stock up and save on items like Mucinex Fast Max Liquid Gels, Vicks DayQuil and NyQuil Combo Packs, Halls Cough Drops, and Tylenol Children's Liquid. The offer ends February 24th. Restrictions apply. Offers may vary. Visit Safeway.com for more details.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily, 3 Things People Don't Get About Me as an Introvert, by Janet Anthony with introvertdear.com. Have you ever done or said something, and the people around you looked at you like you were an alien from Mars? If you're an introvert, this sort of thing probably happens to you all the time. You may have even gotten used to it because it happens so much. Personally, I have been misunderstood in tons of situations. It began in high school, when I didn't want to stay out late partying like my friends. Some of them said I was poor at dancing, and felt hurt seeing everyone jumping around having the time of their lives. All I wanted was to sit on the sidelines and watch them enjoy the party their way. But none of them understood. To them, it was unintelligible rocket science that they couldn't fathom. Here are 3 more ways that I felt misunderstood as an introvert. Can you relate? Number 1. My introversion is mistaken for shyness. I've been mistaken as being shy for as long as I can remember. I don't know why people think of me as being shy, but it makes me feel like the black sheep of my family. What they fail to understand is that just because I'm not as outgoing as them, I'm not really shy per se. According to Susan Cain, author of Quiet, quote, "Shyness is the fear of negative judgment, and introversion is a preference for quiet, minimally stimulating environments." End quote. In other words, if you're extremely self-conscious and worry excessively about others judging you, you might be shy. But if you stay home alone on a Friday night simply because you prefer calm and quiet, you're an introvert. Number 2, my need for solitude is considered unsociable. In the current world we're living in, the extrovert's way is continually praised. Introverts, who tend to keep to themselves, may be seen as poor at socializing and are considered lonely freaks. Unlike what most people think, I actually like being in the midst of people exchanging helpful ideas. But rather than going to a big social event, I prefer having quality, close friends. I can be a loner, yes, but I do like having people around once in a while. Likewise, the idea that introverts can't work with other people or in groups is totally wrong. More than once, people have told me that I work best alone, and I'm better off that way. To some extent, this might be true, but again, thinking that I'm poor at teamwork is wrong. It is true that I have a tendency to be quiet in large groups, but I do speak a lot in small ones. In fact, being an introvert, I can help guide my group to think more deeply about what we're doing. Don't be surprised when I tell you that many successful people, such as Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and Steve Wozniak, have been classified as introverts. And number 3, my quietness is seen as a dislike of talking. Perhaps the biggest misconception about me is that I don't like talking. But that's what this belief is, a misconception. I personally love talking to people, but not always. This is the key word here. Unlike extroverts who always seem to be jovial, I tend to be more reserved. I do more listening than talking, which is one characteristic you'll find in most, if not all, introverts. We usually only talk when it's absolutely necessary to do so. Unless we have some really important stuff to say, we prefer not to speak. We may be especially quiet in large crowds and around strange faces. However, we engage in pretty awesome conversations when we feel comfortable around people, especially when we get to talk about those peculiar topics that we love. Likewise, some people would ask, what about public speaking? I would honestly inform you that we introverts make great speakers. To begin with, we prepare adequately before compiling our projects. I personally take a lot of time observing, listening, and noticing what's happening around me. we introverts may shock others with our quality content and amazing presentations. I highly suggest that any extroverts listening to this take some time to understand introversion before judging us. This may be especially hard in workplaces, where we interact with many different personalities and we're expected to all get along. But it's possible for both introverts and extroverts to mingle and work together in a peaceful environment. All we have to do is learn about other people's personalities and take them as they are. You just listened to the post titled, 3 Things People Don't Get About Me as an Introvert by Janet Anthony with introvertdeer.com.
Hey there, it's Ryan Seacrest for Safeway. It's cough, cold, and flu season. Do not get caught feeling under the weather. Get back to feeling good with savings on all your cold and flu essentials. Now through February 24th, shop in-store or online to stock up and save on items like Mucinex Fast Max liquid gels, Vicks DayQuil and NyQuil combo packs, Halls cough drops, and Tylenol children's liquid. The offer ends February 24th. Restrictions apply. Offers may vary. Visit Safeway.com for more details.
The new year means new health goals, not just for your body, but for your finances too. But did you know financial health is directly related to identity protection? You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that are outside of your control. It only takes one mistake, and not even your mistake, to expose you to identity theft and lost funds. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second and alerts you to threats you could miss on your own. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's US-based restoration specialist will fix it, backed by the $1 Million Protection Package. In fact, restoration is guaranteed or your subscription money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or other financial losses from identity theft alone. Resolve to make identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com/iHeart and save up to 40% your first year. That's 40% off at LifeLock.com/iHeart. Terms apply.
And thanks a lot to Janet for this post today. It's really important to check in with Introvert Deer like this, as the attributes many introverts possess are seemingly antithetical to relationship building, but they're really not. And I think that's a lot of what Janet was saying today. Introversion, both how strongly one might identify as an introvert and how the traits of an introvert affect their relationships, is a gradient. What this all boils down to is getting to know ourselves and our partners, and committing to learning what we bring to the relationship's table. We needn't segregate ourselves or our attributes, because when we do, it's easy for introverts and extroverts alike to feel misunderstood, and we really don't get a chance to know people and develop relationships as strongly as we could. So, for a moment, I might ask you to forget about labels like introversion and extroversion, and instead consider each person, each trait, individually. Take the time to learn where they come